You're watching Drakewing Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, Never here from Drakewing Gaming, and some of you on Twitter, the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you with a Let's Play episode of Polar Night. So y'all, let's go ahead and jump right back in, shall we? Alarm Janie, we're up, and let's go. Yeah, it's been a couple years since we played this, y'all, so we're just gonna do a replay of it. Where'd you travel from? He closed his book and slipped it below the table into a pack sitting by him. Scotland. Still not shaking off the journey. 20 goddamn hours. Huh. Vancouver. 30 hours. He gave me a cheeky grin. I'm Stefan Golubev. Not pleased to meet you. He extended a hand and I shook it with a warm smile. Garrett Reed. Likewise. Want a coffee? It's really good here. Easily one of the best I've had. Sure. He turned around and waved at the barista. Same again, please. Barista gave a thumbs up and started preparing a coffee. He turned back to me with an excited grin. It's honestly amazing. None of that Robusta crap. Aye? I gave him what I hoped was an interested look. I knew fuck all about coffee. I'm more of a tea person, to be honest, but I figured it'd be easier to just go with it. Yeah, which is a pity. Longyearbyen is pretty dull and cold. I thought my tail was going to freeze off. I don't know, I like the cold. I wish I had more time to sightsee. To each their own. He gazed at me with those big, excited eyes. I admit, he did have a somewhat infectious smile, although he didn't speak, and instead watching me expectantly. I remembered the book he'd been reading when I entered, the one he'd been so engrossed in. So, what were you reading? Oh, this. He reached beside him and pulled the book out, which, now I could see it properly, was a very battered paperback. It's Distant Origins by Rupert Godella. Ever heard of it? I shook my head. Glad he was up for filling the silence. It's about how the Mosaic period was the work of extraterrestrials. So you know how during the Mosaic period a bunch of different species all gained sentience around the same time? Well, he didn't even give me time to answer, so my jaw just hung slightly open while I tried to maintain eye contact and nod. I guess he's, enthusiastic. Oh, excuse me. Godella thinks that it could only be because of outside influence. Think about it. How else could so many different species all start to gain sapience around the same time? So he thinks some starfaring race visited and uplifted a bunch of different... Very enthusiastic. Wait, did he just say starfaring? And Godella thinks these visitors left behind clues that governments have kept hidden and locked away. Oh, no. He thinks some of them are still out there, just waiting to be found. He theorized that deep in the jungles of South America... Christ on a bike. He really wasn't gonna stop. Of course he got called a crank, but academics agree with him. They just get suppressed and ridiculed if they try to tell the truth. And he thinks they even disappear people who speak out about it. Like this one time, I made no effort at all to hide my slack jaw and staring gaze. He didn't care. Or at least didn't notice. My hand moved to my pocket for my cigarettes, looking for an opening to take a smoke break before he started talking about the Rothschilds. I jumped as the door opened, inviting a burst of icy air. I turned to look, seeing a pair of young Caprine women shuffling through the door. A third figure, a lapine guy, followed, making a loud burr as he entered. Oh, thank Christ, some warmth! All three looked familiar in a way I couldn't put my finger on, especially the hair guy. I could swear I'd seen him before. The Caprine girl with the blue jacket stamped her feet to dislodge the snow in her boots, while the one with the beanie scanned the room before locking eyes with me. I cringed at the unblinking gaze, feeling like she was reading my mind or something. My hand automatically moved to my fringe, pulling my dark hair to ensure it obscured my left eye. Her companion also glanced around before spotting us. She gave a warm grin and happily waved. Just as the three arrived at our table, the barista swooped in to place my coffee before me. I gave them a grateful smile as the three new arrivals pulled up chairs to sit around our table. Hello, guys. Can I get you anything? Oh, a latte would be nice. Tabby? The good lass in the blue jacket spoke with an American accent. Again, not sure where precisely, but vague enough I can't place it. The younger girl had her shoulders hunched and her hands in her pockets. She gave a non-committal shrug. Make that 2 lattes, please. Thank you. Make mine a cappuccino, would you? The hair had a clear Irish accent. As he tugged off his gloves and rubbed his hands, blowing into them for warmth, the barista moved off to make them their drinks. Well, I take it you two are here for the Sylvia? The blue-jacketed girl smiled, leaning forward and hugging herself to warm up. Immediately, the beanie-wearing girl pulls out her phone and focuses on it, ignoring the rest of us. Yeah, we're here for the Sylvia. I'm Garrett Reed. I'm Stefan Gulubev. Pleased to meet you. The Lapine guy sat next to me, drawing close and rubbing his arms for warmth. I'm Aaron Marsh. Pleased to meet you. He gave a grin and a small wave before going back to blowing into his hands. Nice to meet you, fellas. I'm Gail Waters, and this chatty social butterfly is my sister Tabby. Want to introduce yourself? She nudged her sister, who just scowled and muttered, without looking up from her phone. Hi. Me and Stefan exchanged a look, but Gail just laughed. She takes time to warm up to people. No shit, I thought. Judging by the way she was thumbing the screen, she was scrolling something continuously. Probably some social media shite like Barker. God, I wish I could be such an old fart sometimes. Hope the Sylvia has decent heating. Forgot to bring ear warmers. Aaron complained, taking his ears in his hands and rubbing them. What did you expect this far north? Don't you have a hood? Gail chuckles and smirks, though she did rub her own ears a little. Yeah. Pouted. Lapines are really finicky about anything touching or covering their ears. I guess it made sense for people with such sensitive hearing. Wolves like me had sensitive hearing, nowhere near as good as Lapines, and even we didn't really like stuff covering our ears where we could help it. That said, leaving ears uncovered out here was a great way to get frostnip. Do you guys know each other? He motioned between Gail and Aaron. Oh, no, we met about an hour ago. Decided to stick together once we're all going together anyway. So, what do you guys do? Gail directed at me and Stefan. I decided to get my introduction in first before Stefan started talking about the Illuminati. Oh, I'm a Sparky, nothing interesting. We got a bunch of blank looks and raised eyebrows, I added. Electrician. Oh, right. Is that what you call it where you're from? Just a nickname we use. I'm so used to calling it that I forget how it must sound. I gave a small laugh, cringing inwards at the 4 sets of eyes now set on me. Without realizing, I tugged at my fringe, ensuring it covered my eye. That sounds cool. Are you like the guy people call to fix their fuse box? Sometimes, but I mostly work on industrial sites. What happened to your eye? I froze. Tabby had stopped fiddling with her phone for a moment to gaze me directly in the eye. I looked at morbid curiosity on her face. Tabby! You don't just demand people explain stuff like that. I felt my stomach clench, instinctively tugging at my fringe. Had she seen through, or correctly assumed my fringe was hiding my left eye? Judging from Aaron and Stefan's reaction, they'd clearly been thinking the same thing. They just evidently had more tact. Why not? I'm just curious. As much as Gail tried, I could see that the others were all now staring at me with even more rapt attention. Gail offered a chagrined look. You don't have to explain anything. No, it's fine. It's not like there's much to say. Ugh. Had an accident. Gail smiled apologetically and gave her sister a there satisfied sort of look, although from Tabby's expression she was evidently not satisfied. She mercifully did not press the issue and went back to her phone. So, how about you, Gail? What'd you do? What do you do? I seized the opportunity to move the focus away from me. Oh, me? I'm not that interesting, to be honest. Just finished my first full year as a registered nurse. Seriously? But that's a stressful time. Oh, it was. But finally getting out of university and being able to work with patients is just so satisfying. Long hours, but I feel like I'm making a difference, you know? What about you, Stefan? Me? He looks more than a little uncomfortable. I work retail. Nothing wrong with that. Where do you work? I took a sip of my coffee. While the warmth and scent was inviting, I could never really get on with the taste. I only typically drank if I needed a wake up. I was glad the conversation had turned away from me. I tuned out the conversation a little, glancing from one person to the other. It seemed nice enough. Even Tabby had stopped fiddling with her phone to observe, though she didn't say anything. With another sip, I turned back into the conversation. What about you, Aaron? The Harrow was about to speak when the barista arrived with a tray carrying their drinks. Oh, thank you kindly. He beamed at the barista, flashing his pearly white teeth. No sooner had his cup been placed before him than he took it up and sipped, eyes closed with a satisfied That hit the spot. Oh, I'm a student, studying psychology. He looked a little bashful as he added, and I deliver pizzas in the evenings to make some scratch. Neat. Do you get to eat lots of pizza then? The words deliver pizzas made Stefan's eyes light up. Well, sometimes. We get pizzas that are cancelled or the wrong order, but as much as I like pizza, even I have my limits. Besides, I need to watch my figure. He gave me a sharp elbow to the ribs and a wink. I nearly choked on my coffee. So what about you, Tabby? You in college? Stefan asked between gulps of his coffee. Yep. She said in a sullen voice, not even looking up. After a few seconds of not elaborating, Stefan, Aaron, and myself all exchanged glances while Gale simply gave an embarrassed smile. You could at least try to be friendly. We're going to be traveling together for a while. Tabby, meanwhile, was utterly unmoved by the conversation, slumped down in her chair with her coffee untouched. I'm not here to make friends. I don't even want to be here. You're the one obsessed with finding Mom. Just like that, it was as if a freezing air of the outside wind blew over us. Even Stefan's bouncy energy vanished. Even if I thought she was being a brat, she did remind us why we're going on this expedition. It wasn't a pleasure cruise. We were going to find the Iran and her crew, or what was left of them. The sound of the door opened and again shook us all from our private musings. Loud, clumping, heavy hooves on wood echoed through the room as a figure swept through the door. Holy moly! Stefan muttered under his breath, his eyes wide with alarm. God damn! Aaron agreed, though his expression was decidedly more pleased. The equine who entered was huge, easily pushing 6.5 feet tall. His snappy-looking gear did little conceal a powerful build. He held himself ramrod straight, moving with casual grace towards us with each hoof step vibrating through my legs. Good evening. Are you the group waiting to board the Sylvia? His voice was rich and deep as he gazed at us with eyes that felt like they could see right through us. His accent was odd. It was received pronunciation, very cut glass, yet there was an aspect to it I couldn't place. He sounded posh, that much I could tell. Oh, hello. You must be Sharif. Indeed, Sheriff Abdi. Pleased to meet you all. I shall be in charge of the expedition. Would you care for... Aaron stammered like he'd just been approached by his school crush. A coffee? I'm afraid not. I have come to collect you all. The Sylvia is ready to board and we must not delay. Those piercing eyes settled on the hair. His bashful look quickly changed to an unsettled one under his intense gaze. Without a word, Tabby pushed back from the table with a loud wooden squeak of chair legs and started moving toward the door. Gale blinked, mouth open as though to call after her, but seemingly decided against it, simply watching her retreating back. Didn't even finish her coffee. I summoned the barista over to settle the bill. He quickly approached, hands clasped before him with a wide, friendly smile. Everything okay? Enjoy your coffees? Oh, yeah, thanks. Stefan recovered from being stunned by Sharif's entrance, and we all started to dig into our pockets for cash. Here you go. With casual ease, Sharif slid a few notes from his coat pocket and handed them to the barista. Keep the change. We all gave him a mix of grateful and surprised looks, but he did not meet our eyes. He simply turned and strode toward the door where Tabby was waiting, still glued to her phone. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon or YouTube memberships if you can. It always helps. Anyway, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!